What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and today I got a fun one for you guys. We're going to be taking a look at each division in the UFC and trying to pick the next champion. This is honestly a pretty tough list to put together, honestly, because a lot of these guys are just so good. It's so tough predicting how they're going to lose their title and who to. But I've picked all the divisions, I've picked my options in each division, and let's see if you guys agree with them. Without further ado, let's get into it. Flyweight, Alejandro Pantoja. 2, Muhammad Mokaev. So up in this flyweight division, we have Alejandro Pantoja, who's a champ, and he's beaten pretty much everybody in the division. I honestly don't see this guy losing his belt for a while, but this is the one guy I think that could take it from him, and that's Muhammad Mokaev. Mokaev has a big matchup coming up against Manel Kape at UFC 304, and that's going to be a real decider to see if he's going to go for a title. I think it's pretty much a #1 contender's bout, so whoever wins is going to be fighting for the belt. And Mokaev has that style that I think could beat Pantoja. Yes, Pantoja's a great grappler and a great wrestler. So is Muhammad Mokaev, though. And this isn't something I see happening within the next year, maybe. I think that we could see Mokaev do this maybe in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, when he's a little bit more experienced. He goes in, gets a crack at Pantoja once Pantoja's a bit older, and I could see him getting the job done. Otherwise, though, I really don't see anybody else in this division beating Alex, to be honest. I think Pantoja is so good, and it's going to be really tough to beat him. Bantamweight, Sean O'Malley. 2, Corey Sandhagen. On to bantamweight now, where we have the champ, Sugar Sean O'Malley. I mean, I don't see this guy losing to a lot of guys in this division. The only guy is the one I just mentioned, Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen is such a tough fight for Sugar Sean O'Malley because he neutralizes that reach advantage, and his wrestling can also give Sean a lot of problems. Corey, of course, has a big fight coming up against Umar Nurmagomedov. That's going to be a real decider to see if he actually gets a crack at Sean. I think it's pretty much a #1 contenders fight, so whoever wins is going to be fighting for the title, and I think he will get through Umar, honestly. I really do. I think this is Corey Sandhagen entering his prime almost. I think the wrestling he's developed has been so massive in his game. It's just such a great advantage to have, and he's great at it. Is he going to out-wrestle Umar? Not sure about that, but I think he can definitely outstrike him. So, I don't know. I think Corey's going to get through Umar, and I don't see a lot of other guys giving Sean much trouble in this division. I think Sean gets through Merab, but I think if he runs into Corey, Corey could be the guy to give him his most problems. Featherweight, Ilia Topuria. 2, Diego Lopes. On to 145 now, and we have the champ, of course, Ilia Topuria, El Matador. And out of all these guys, I honestly don't think this guy's going to lose his belt for a while. I don't think he loses to anybody in the top 5. I don't think Ortega beats him. I don't think Yair beats him. And I don't think Max beats him either. I'm sorry. I just think Ilia will beat Max. It's just what I see happening. But the one guy I think that could give him some issues is Diego Lopes. And this is a fight I picture happening maybe in 2-3 years, to be honest, if it were to happen, because the top of the division is just so stacked right now and guys ready to fight for the title, and Ilia is not a guy that likes to fight a lot. So this fight, if it were to happen, would probably take a while. But Diego Lopes, I think the one thing he could give Ilia is his energy, honestly. The way Lopes enters the fight in the first round with the intensity, not a lot of guys do that, and I think that's what you have to do to beat Ilia. You have to be able to apply pressure to him and make him be on his back foot, not dictating the tempo of the fight, because once you let Ilia control what's happening, there's no way you're going to beat him. But a guy like Diego Lopes could get in his face early, really bug him, maybe try and grapple him a lot more, not try and just strike with him like a lot of these guys do for some reason, and maybe he could get the job done. I'm not saying that I really do believe that Diego Lopes can beat Ilia Topuria. I just found that this was a tough division to pick, and this is the one guy I think that might have an opportunity to do so. Lightweight, Islam Makhachev. 2, Benoit Saint Denis. On to 155 now with the champion Islam Makhachev, who I don't see losing to anybody anytime soon, but I had to pick somebody. I've gone with Benoit Saint Denis. A lot of you are probably saying, well, he lost to Poirier, and Poirier just lost to Islam. How the hell is he going to beat Islam? Well, MMA math doesn't always check out like that, and Benoit Saint Denis is a complete package. We didn't see the best version of him against Poirier. He had staph infection. That's been confirmed. So I think when we see Benoit at his best, we'll be able to see this guy's clear contender for the title. I mean, he's just a complete package. He's got the striking, he's got the grappling, he's got the wrestling, and that's what you need against a guy like Islam Makhachev. Islam is so good in both areas, in striking and wrestling, that he fights a lot of one-dimensional guys to where if they're not good on the feet, he'll take them down, and if they're good on the ground, he'll strike with them. And that's how he finds all his success. So against a guy like Benoit, who's a little bit more versatile, can kind of do both, I think that's the type of guy that's going to give Islam the most problems. I'm not saying Benoit would 100% win against Islam, but I had to pick somebody. And out of all the guys, I think Benoit Saint Denis has the best chance. Welterweight. Leon Edwards to Shavkat Rakhmonov. 170. And yeah, this is probably a bit of a boring one for you guys. A lot of you probably said Shavkat, but I mean, it's for good reason. I mean, 18-0, 18 finishes. You guys know the story with this guy. The thing is with him is I actually think Leon would be his toughest fight. Not just because Leon's the champ, but just because Leon's a stud, man. And honestly, I'm thinking about this fight's getting me excited. I would love to see Shavkat versus Leon, man. This would be such a good fight. But yeah, I think Shavkat could beat Leon. I think he could take him down and submit him. I think that's the best way he wins. I don't think he'd be foolish enough to just try and strike with Leon. Anybody who does that is going to lose. So yeah, I don't think Bilal's going to beat Leon. Sorry, I really don't. I think JDM could, but I think JDM has to get through Shavkat to beat Leon, and I don't think he's going to get through Shavkat. I think another guy I was thinking about here was also Ian Gary, but I don't know. Ian Gary's got a tough fight ahead of him with MVP. He's got to get through that first, and the top of the division's crowded. Plus, Shavkat is Shavkat. Shavkat, one of the best guys in the UFC, honestly, right now. The way he's able to finish people and just drown every opponent he faces, it's so impressive. I want to see this guy in the title picture soon. I think after the Leon fight, I think we actually could see this matchup. I think this might be the quickest one in terms of all the champions I've picked. I think this is the quickest champion we could see. And maybe at the end of the year, maybe Shavkat Leon, December, I could see it happen. And I see Shavkat winning. I mean, I do love Leon, and I think Leon could beat Shavkat. I think it's a close fight, but I had to pick somebody. And for me not to pick Shavkat to be the next champion, I'd feel kind of dumb. Middleweight. Dricus du Plessis to Khamzat Chimaev. Now, middleweight was another one I was struggling with because a lot of these guys at the top are good, but not great. And not guys I think that can beat DDP. I mean, DDP can strike, and he's an incredible wrestler. He's also a complete package. He's a champion for a reason. I don't think Izzy can beat DDP. I don't think Sean can beat him in a rematch. I think he may have a chance, but I don't know if I would pick him necessarily. I don't think Whitaker will, because he didn't last time. And I also don't think any of these guys like Cannonier, Paulo Costa, like none of these guys. Imavov, no. I think Khamzat has the best chance to beat him if they ever get locked into a cage together. And that's honestly the biggest question with this fight. I mean, who knows if Khamzat's even going to get the chance? He has to fight Robert Whitaker, and there is a big chance that he doesn't get through Robert Whitaker. But if he's improved his cardio, we know what Khamzat's about. The guy's a beast in the first 2 rounds. If he's able to drown Dricus, he could definitely beat him. I'm going to pick Khamzat because I do want to see Khamzat be a champ at some point, and I think it's coming soon. So, yeah, I think if there were to be somebody to beat DDP, it'd be him. Light heavyweight. Alex Pereira to Carlos Ulberg. Now, a bit of an obscure pick here with Carlos Ulberg to beat Alex Pereira. I mean, I don't even know if I actually believe that, to be honest, but I had to pick somebody. I don't think Pereira's going to lose to a lot of these guys unless he just comes in against a crazy wrestler, but any striker that faces Pereira isn't going to win. I'll tell you that right now. But like I said, I had to pick somebody for this video, and this is the guy I think has the best chance. And that's honestly because of the position Ulberg's in now. I mean, he has this fight with Jamal Hill coming up, and I actually think he's going to beat Jamal Hill because Jamal Hill just seems to be going crazy right now. His head's not in the right space. He doesn't seem like he's very focused on Carlos Ulberg, and that's not a good thing. Ulberg's a dangerous fighter, man. He's a great striker. He's big. He can really get in your face. He has that one-punch KO power. It's not a good recipe for success. I mean, I think Yuri is going to be the guy that gets the next crack at Alex, but I think that fight will go similar to how the first one played out, to be honest. I just don't think Yuri's a polished enough striker to hang with Pereira on the feet. That's just the way it is. But Ulberg, I think he might be. I think he's a little bit better of a kickboxer, just strictly kickboxer. Yuri's just more of a wild character, unique. I love Yuri, but I think Ulberg possesses the best chance at beating Pereira just because I think he can kind of give Pereira a taste of his own medicine. He can get in his face. He has that power. Do I really think it's going to happen? Probably not, but if I were to pick somebody, it'd be Carlos Ulberg. Heavyweight. John Jones to Tom Aspinall. Now, this was easily the easiest decision on the list. I mean, if he fights him, he's going to lose. And if John retires, Tom's going to get the undisputed heavyweight gold. So this was a pretty easy one. Tom Aspinall, I think, is the best heavyweight on the planet. John Jones is ducking him. And it's unfortunate if we don't get this fight. But yeah, I think either way, it's going to be Tom Aspinall next. He'll be the next guy to hold undisputed heavyweight gold. Whether he rips it off John or not, he'll be the next guy. I don't think Stipe is going to beat John. And then I think John's just going to retire. So yeah, Tom Aspinall, best heavyweight on the planet. He'll be the next to hold undisputed UFC gold. So there you have it. Those are my picks for the next champions in each division in the UFC. It's your guys' turn now, though. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with some of my decisions, and also mention some of the guys you think will be the next champions. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Thank you all for watching another one of these videos. Stay tuned for content just like this, and I'll catch you all in the next one.